Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the second episode of this series from scratch on the My Digital Makers YouTube channel. This is the SD from the SDChannel hosting this series for you guys where we learn to develop our own games together from scratch. Before we get to the video, there's a few things that you need to prepare. You need a laptop or a computer, a good internet connection, and some images that I've prepared for you down in the links below. I basically drew the images myself, so there's no copyright for it. You can use it anywhere, anytime you want, and that's basically it. Okay, first things first. You have to go to the Construct website, which is construct.net, and then do register an account. Once you've created your account, you can go click on try now, and then we can launch the editor.construct.net. These are all the demo games that are here. I have so many other games. Okay, click on new project and choose your project name, and we won't be changing other settings. That's my project name. I'm not changing any other settings. There's so many other settings that we can try out later, but for the basics, let's go with the given default settings. Okay guys, first things first, this is your layout. Well, you can go down. It's actually big, don't worry. Okay, first thing when it comes to creating your own game is to actually have a background for your game. To do that, just double click on the layout, the white layout here. Now you have it. And then double click on tiled background. Click anywhere on this white square. You can design your own background for this, but I've prepared the image file for background. Here you have it. I know I'm not proud of it. I know it's not beautiful, but it will do the job. Okay, once you have it, it's small. To resize it to fit the entire layout, just right click, align, cover layout. Voila, it's done. Okay, once you've covered the layout, just you have to lock the selection. So because you won't be changing the background that much. Well, you won't be changing it at all. So we'll rename this object as background. We have to rename this one by one as it actually allows easy reference later onwards. So you have it here, your first object, a background. Once you've done with the layout, it's time to add your players in. To do that, double click on the layout, scroll down to sprite. Well, sprite is where you add in your players, your enemies, and other stuff like bullets and explosion thingies, that stuff. So insert sprite, click anywhere on the layout, add in the file that I've given here, shape. Shape will be our player here. You can rotate it 90 degrees so that it's always facing right, is our forward, so it has to be facing forward. Once you've done that, you can click X and voila, you have your player. Once you've done that, you can actually check how the game would be like at this moment. Just click on this button here, and that's it. That's pretty much your game. It's not moving. I'm pressing the arrow keys here. It's not moving. Clicking, no reaction, because we haven't do the coding yet. Don't worry, it's simple coding. It's not as headache as C++ or Python, but don't worry, it's simple. Don't forget to rename this to player so that it will be easier later when you do coding. Okay, once you've done that, the one thing that the player doesn't have now is, the main thing is, it doesn't move. So to do the movement, click on the player, make sure you click on it, and add behaviors. Add new behavior, scroll down until you find movements. Under that, choose 8 direction. Now the player should be moving in 8 directions once you play with the keys. Okay, now I'm moving the arrow keys down, right, up, left, down. Okay, you see it's perfect. It's not perfect, but there's something. And okay, one thing to notice, he disappeared. Okay, you do notice this, right? The player is basically disappearing out of the game. We don't want him to do that, do we? So go back to the coding. You have to add another behavior, which is to always make the player to be in the center of your game. To do that, just click scroll to. Add that, click preview, and let's test it out. And you see, your player is always in the center of the screen. Once you've reached the end of the game, the layout, let's try. Okay, he's going out again. He's still going out. To do that, we have to bound him to the layout. We have to add another behavior, add new behavior. Okay, we don't want him to destroy when he goes outside, then we'll be losing ourselves. Bound to layer so that he doesn't go out. Add that, close this, and then play. That's it. Now you can move your player throughout your game. So if you're doing like maze games or something, this is basically how you do it. Well, we are not going to do basic maze games. We want to shoot somebody in the game. I'm being specific, in the game. So let's test it. See, he can't go out. He can't go out, can he? Once the player is able to move around, you want to add one thing where the player would always look towards the mouse. Whenever the mouse turns, the player also turns while controlling the up, down, left, right movement. To do that, you have to double click on the layout, scroll down, and add mouse. Once you've added mouse, you can actually do a bit of programming for the player. Go to event sheet, add event, click on system. There you see every tick. Every tick is basically, there's about 60 ticks in 1 second. It's like 60 frames per second, that kind of thing. So click on every tick, click on next. What we're trying to say here is, on every tick we want to do something, so we have to add an action. Player, we have to change his angle, the way he's looking. So set angle towards position. Here type in mouse.x, click mouse.x. For the Y, you can choose mouse.y. Click here, click done. So now on every tick, the player will be looking towards the mouse. To test it, click on preview. There you have it. The player is looking towards the mouse. No matter where I move, up, down, left, right, he always looks at the mouse. So that would be easier for us to aim and shoot. Now that's the problem, we don't have anything to shoot. To do that, we have to add our bullet. Go to layout, double click, add in sprite, insert, click anywhere on the layout, and we'll add in our bullet. Don't forget to rotate it 90 degrees right side so that it will be aligned same as the player. Now you can X. There you have it. If yours is bigger, you can actually resize it to be small so that it fits about here, so that it doesn't look weird when it's big. Depends on your preference how big you want. I like this. So when we shoot, we want this to come out from here. Sorry. To do that, you have to double click on the player, Once you double click on the player, make sure this is checked, and then right click here, add new image point, and click on the end of this cockpit. Once you've done that, you can click X. To program this bullet coming out from here, we have to add two behaviors to the bullet. The first most obvious behavior would obviously be bullet. Once you've done that, you can add another one, which is to destroy outside layout, so that you don't want your bullet to come around and shoot you. Now do we want to do that? Once you've added that, you can go to the event sheet. Once you're on the event sheet, you can add event, click on mouse, click on click, and left and clicked, because you usually shoot on by clicking the left mouse. Once you've done that, click done. What we're trying to say here is that on left click, we want our player to shoot. To do that, click on player. In here, it's actually called spawn another object. So your player is actually spawning the bullet. So click on spawn another object. Choose your object, and that will be our bullet. Click OK. Image point 1. Remember we did that image point thing. Click here, add new image point. Done. Click on done. You can go out to the layout, click on preview to see how it's actually okay. There you have it. You're actually shooting bullets. Now we want to have something that we can shoot at, like for example an enemy. So to do that, double click again, go on to sprite, insert, click on anywhere on the layout. We can have our enemy. I did this random alien spaceship thingy. I know it doesn't look nice, but it does the job. So edit in, click on X. Okay, that's a good size. Do you want to make it smaller? Maybe a bit smaller. Okay, once you've added the enemy, you can actually rename the sprite to enemy for easy programming again. Okay, now once you have done that, we have to add one behavior, which is this move to, because we want our enemy to move towards us. Obviously we don't want him to be just standing there, that would be too easy. Okay, let's preview the game. Okay, that's our enemy there. He doesn't move, but even though we have added the move to, we have to program him. So click on event sheet, every tick, that means every moment we want our enemy to scroll down, move to object. We want him to move to something, don't we? We want him to move to our player. Click on OK. That's all you have to do. Click on done. Now click on preview. No, that's right, he's chasing me. Shoot him. Well, we haven't set the programming to kill him, so obviously he's not dying and he's sticking on me. Okay, let's close that. And how about we move him a bit further from us, so that we in easier chase, maybe to the other corner of the game. Scroll down. Yep, that should be better. Okay, now one thing is that we want the player to shoot and to basically destroy the enemy. To do that, go back to event sheet, add event, click on bullet, scroll down, where you have this on collision with another object. Click on that, click on next. What object do we want to collide with? The enemy. Click on OK. Done. So what you're basically telling here is that this bullet, when on collision with the enemy, we want to do enemy, scroll down until you find destroy. So when the bullet hits the enemy, you want the enemy to destroy. Click on next. Okay, now let's play the game. Where are you? Hope he doesn't surprise me. That's him. Boom. That's right. See the enemy destroy right there? Okay. And another thing, we would also want our bullet to destroy. We don't want the bullet to actually pierce through the enemy. So we can add that. But this is all based on your own perspective, your own creativity. I'm just doing based on mine, so that I could teach you how to use all this. So click on destroy the bullet once hit. Next. Done. Let's play it. Let's test it again. Where are you? That's him. Palm. He's dead and the bullet is gone. Realize that? Okay. Now, since we've won the game, let's think about how we could lose the game. We will lose the game if the enemy hits us before I try to kill him. To do that is the same method as this bullet on collision with enemy. Now it's enemy on collision with another object, which would be me, the player. Click on done. We want me to die. I mean, not literally die, the player to die. Destroy. Click on next. And we want our enemy to die as well, don't we? Destroy. Click on preview. Yo, where are you? Bam. Photos gone. The game ends. Game over. So that's basically it. You have a simple shooting game where you get to shoot your enemy and kill your enemy. Your enemy can kill you, but if you want to know more advanced gaming such as a scoring system or explosion effects, join me on the next episode of the From Scratch series on the My Digital Makers YouTube channel, as I, the SD from the SDChannel, will be teaching you how to make your own awesome game from scratch.